Alright, so I'm looking over the Omnitrix watch, and yeah. So, okay, so I guess this is the turntable. Do I select it? Okay. I'm just gonna name this turntable setup use group or something. And this is the Omnitrix. Okay. And when I play it, which is Alt V as in Victor, so Alt and V. So if I go in here, obviously it's really fast. Typically, what you want to do is, where's my, right, so in here, if you click on the running man, that will bring up the preferences, and specifically for the time slider, so the running man brings up the preferences, the overall general software preferences, and specifically time slider. So down here, just gotta set this to 24 frames per second. Most likely, I'm just assuming probably might have forgot about that, which is okay. But I think it's in the, I'm pretty sure it's in the documents, Word doc that I made. Just gotta follow through on this part, then you'll be good. And hit save. And then Alt V as in Victor. And there you go. Yeah, okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this to perspective. Press F. Alright. Then I'm going to bring up the UV editor. With the channel box open, I'm going to slide it right here. Just going to close the toolkit, leave that open for a bit. And then I'm going to just tear this out. I'm going to tear this out. Okay, I'm at 1. Tear this out. Alright, I just need more room. I select this. So this is very good. Very good. This one, there is a way to straighten it, but still it's good. Where's that? That must be this right here. Oh look. Oh, looks like this is intentional. Alright. Okay. And then from there. Alright, all blue. Good. Let me check the hyper shade. And if I right click, select objects. Okay, so that is that. Alright. What I need to do is with this, well, I'm gonna make a new shader. In here, I tab, the tab key. I type in AI standard surface, the middle one. Click in there. I'm gonna type in UV pattern SHDR for shader. And now I'm gonna click on the attribute editor. You may see another panel attached over here, which would be the like the property editor and material viewer. That'll be attached here by default. In here you don't see it because I X'd it out, that X button, because it just causes more confusion. You have to kind of just trust me on that. And when you're first learning the hyper shade and the selections and stuff, when you select things, just do it from here. Just trust me on it. Just do it from here. Here, I can verify that there is the shader, UV pattern shader, and then under color, the checkbox, file, and all of that's happening is basically this. Let me just grab this out of the way. I'm gonna select this because I don't want to have multiple shaders going on. I select it. I'm gonna click on this. So again, the main things are this to only show one selection. Then this guy right here, if I select the mesh, and then if I select this, then it will pull up the shader for that selection. But I'm not going to do that right now. This is to wipe out whatever's in here, the little 3 stars. Anyhow, this guy right there, I'm gonna go and click on this. This file 1 is actually this right here. It's under the folder. Right now I have my project set to default. I think I left it in my default UV tile map. Why isn't it showing? Maybe that's not it. And UV. Alright, so it's probably inside. I'm going to change the current project to project 1, and then source images, that's where it's going to try pull any textures from, source images folder. And here it is. This file is on the W drive, and I think it's also on the D2L, but I'm pretty sure it's on the W drive. And then I grab that and I hit open, and there it is. And I like to just copy the name and then paste it in here, and then there you go. Okay. After that, in order to apply it, right, the shader to this, all I'm gonna do is just have this selected. Then I'm going to middle mouse, click on it. But when I click the middle mouse, I don't let go. So again, I'm going to click on the middle mouse. It turns into a little small tiny plus sign, as you can see on my cursor. Drag it, then I'm going to let go. Right now it's white. I'm going to press 6. 6 pulls up the texture. Shading. Make sure that default material is not checked, right? Make sure it's not checked. Right now you can see it, and the pattern is large. It's large. So here, I'm gonna repeat it. This little box is just like a repeater. It's very important, not just for UVs, but for tiling textures and there's other small little trickery that you can do with this thing when it comes to textures. So I'm repeating the texture 5 by 5 so you can see more of it. And then the UV pattern shader itself, this shader, I'm gonna make the roughness, which right now you can see is a strong spec highlight. I'm gonna press like 0.5, maybe like 0.35. So just make it more soft, glossy reflection, haze, and that's it. And then I'm gonna close this out, select it, and you could see it here. See? I'm gonna go into the right click on it, hit face. I'm gonna select this face. I'm gonna click on this one right here, this icon. Right click, hold in here, this area. Right click, hold, choose UV shell. Grab that shell. Press E as in Edward. And then I'm gonna just rotate this shell like so. So it's pretty much eyeballing it to be right side up. I can press this top and zoom in. Or better yet, in here, press 6. This is the true top, the orthographic without any camera lens distortion. I mean, this is straight as it gets. Good. Spacebar, back into here. Another thing too is when I only have one camera view right now, and if it's like this, you'll start to notice some lens distortion where things start to get skewed looking. Well, if I select this camera attribute editor, right. So I select this camera, this icon, attribute editor for it, focal length, change that to 90. What it does is that it takes away majority of the perspective, meaning the lens distortion, the skewing that happens. 90. So it's getting more and more truer to an orthographic view or orthographic camera, which has zero perspective, vanishing, distortion, lens, blah 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 blah. So anyway, and then from there, overall it's good, you know. Everything that I mentioned, suggested to do was done and whatnot. I'm gonna select this, right click, object mode. I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna do Control 1, isolate select. And then, since this is not gonna be rendered at a high poly, right? So different modeling thinking. I don't have to add more supporting edge loops or anything like that. But small little minor things where I'm gonna just press 5, and then I'm gonna check this here. Okay, and I want to pull back my hyper shade because it's super bright. See, now it's even brighter because the green color lines when I select it. The UV pattern texture, I'm just gonna go in here, attribute editor. I'm gonna weaken the weight. Weight basically means like how strong it is. It's either 0 or 1. 1 means 100%. Ain't the little decimals here. This is like 75%. Just think of it that way. See? So I'm gonna make it just $. There, so I can just see better. Alright, good. And then here, I also get rid of the grid. Like what we could do here, and let me see. Probably I'm looking vertex mode. Close this out. Object X is selected for the. Okay, good. So I'm gonna turn a bit like this and this. Press F. And you can see it here. I'm going to uncheck this little picture icon so you can kind of see it better. Now I'm going to go, so I have vertices selected. I'm going to go shift right click and hold, merge vertices, merge the center, see, update it. Then this one, I like to press Q to hide the gizmo because it gets in the way. Select that and that, which that's there too, just to double check. Now I'm gonna press, and you can see it here, press G as in George. I'm gonna select this and this, press G as in George. There, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna move this, right? See, if I move this, I have to move this as well to coordinate it. I'm just gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna press 6, so you kind of see. There's some things here, but for now, I'm just gonna optimize it a little bit more. The reason why I chose to tighten it up or optimize it is because this line, see how it follows? This is an important line because it's gonna connect maybe here or here. That's the reason why, especially here too. But I'm also looking over here at the curvature and everything else. Like for example, yeah, let me do this first. Shift right click and hold, merge vertices, merge to center. And you notice it does not mess with the general shape. It actually cleans it up more to be straighter. See? It gets rid of wobbly lines. This and this. Wait, let's look here. Press 4 to kind of check. Press Q to hide the move gizmo. Make sure nothing else is selected. That's the other side. Press 5. And press G as in George to repeat the last command, which is merge to center. I repeat, that is G as in George. You can see it there. Grab that and that. Press G as in George. There you go. And then this one, this and this. Press G as in George. This and this. G as in George. This and this. G as in George. Very clean. Very, very clean. So that and that is done. The mesh is, the UVs are also very clean. So what I'm going to do is go over here, right click edge mode. I'm going to grab this, I select that. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to hold shift, and when I'm over here I'm going to double tap. Then I'm going to press R as in Robert for the scale tool. Hopefully this will work. Mainly because of the object X symmetry, sometimes that causes headaches. Anyway, I want this thing to be straight, right? But I want it to be straight at this angle. And if I try to pull on this, it does that. You know? So that's not good. This is where I have to use some, wait, let me just show that too. And then here, holding Alt and middle mouse to pan. Zoom in a bit. I'm going to press Q so you can kind of see better. Press W. I'm going to press R. Okay. I'm going to press D as in David. D as in David, like I mentioned, is to make a live pivot mode. And this means not just pivot in terms of where the movement is going to be placed, but pivot also in terms of the scaling and the angle of the scaling. Because before, you know, nowadays it's for the movement, but the angle of the movement, but for the scaling of the movement, right? So all that's selected. I'm gonna just kind of choose what I want my scale to be referenced off of, or what to use as its anchor point to scale from. So I'm going to choose and say that I want to use maybe this line, right? This, because you gotta choose a line, or if I hover at a connection point, it'll choose the vertex to use this as its anchor point or point of reference to scale or move from, or to rotate from. So you can modify the place of movement, you can modify the place of scale, you can modify the place of rotation. like complete control. So I'm gonna just click here. See what happens? Like it took on that property of its location and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna press R because I was on the move tool and I want to be on scale. So here the line is straight, but here the line is not straight. So I'm gonna grab this and smash it flat. See? This is why in class I was talking to the students about why this tool is important. And I'm gonna pull on this just in case, but it's clean. Yeah, we're good on that. Here you notice nothing moved. And here, yep, follow through. Nice. Okay. No damage at all. I'm just gonna name it just gonna name it that maybe. I don't know. Alright. What else? What else? For sure down here, object mode. What I want to do next is press 6. Alright. Right click, UV shell. Right click and hold UV shell. I'll just grab this shell, scoot it over. I want to take a look at it. So I notice some stretching. If I go in here, go to edit and mesh, separate. I wonder if there's separate pieces. I wonder. Okay, yeah. Wait. Okay, so that's that. That's that. That's that. That's one mesh. Okay. That is one mesh. That and that. Okay, I see. Alright, probably don't need to typically for now I would not recommend combining them, but it's not destructive because we notice that we can separate it. Alright, so just looking, press right click, hold face mode. I grab this, double click, I grab everything over here, hold shift and click, hold shift and double click, hold shift and click, hold shift and double click, hold shift and click, hold shift and double click, shift, hold shift and click, hold shift and double click, hold shift and click, double click. I'm gonna press 5. I'm gonna hold control and deselect, holding control to deselect, deselect. Probably deselect this. I only want the very top surface for now. These basically. And probably this one too. Yeah. press 6. So I noticed these parts are stretching. What I want to do is, let's say under the create UV editor, create planar option box, I'm gonna go choose, let me try best plane, planar mapping, best plane, keep image width height ratio, always keep that on, apply. Yeah. See, so it took on that angle and it did this planar projection, best plane. And there you go. Huh, there's a tilt to it. Why is there a tilt? In here, I'm gonna rotate it a bit like that. Let me move this out of the way. There. It's pretty straight as it gets. And you notice, yeah, it does have some over here, regardless of what I do. But I need to have it separated, because if I start pulling the UVs and these are still attached to each other, it's just want to pull your hair out. Press W. I'm gonna just chuck this over for a bit, and then I have Object X still on, edge mode, and then I'm thinking press R, before, after, I'm making it wider. So you have to think of it as like a kind of like a visual game in a way, and the game is where you need to make the squares more not the squares but the pattern to be more square like. So before, and then if I stretch it more, open, wider, it becomes more of a square, like around there, maybe like that. If I pull on it, no, don't pull on it, just this, the red one. Okay, and right now there's a whole lot of repeating patterns for this, so I'm going to go right click, hold UV shell, grab the shell, press R for scale, and I'm going to make it smaller so it matches proportionally to the other rest of the body. So I'm just looking. Wait a minute, why is this doing this? What the hell? Undo, undo, undo. Right. Huh. When you undo this, something's up with that. Undo. Redo. Yeah, so this is where I was before. This is before I got its own planar projection. I'm gonna go back in here. I think something was slightly off. Object off, symmetry, turn off symmetry. I'm gonna choose bounding box. Bounding box on the Y. Strictly on the Y, top down. Keep image width height ratio. And then apply. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So it looks more distorted because it's going straight down. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the red, and from there, if I click one more time on the yellow T, okay, click click it one more time. Then I'm gonna carefully click on the circle, this circle. See? Now this thing pops up. So I'll undo, right? I'll redo. Then again, click on that. Then click on this carefully. Just tap it, like just gently tap it, because it can kind of shuffle a bit. Anyways, so from there, I carefully look. I do not grab this yellow circle. I grab the red circle, right there, that red one. Carefully hover over it and rotate. Like so. Channel box. You can see it here. That is this. Minus 70. No, minus 60. Space bar, looking in here. Minus 65. Minus 62. I'm just looking at this line. That's the projection. And I'm kind of gauging how it is running with this parallel line. I'm just using some landmarks, right? See this line? That's this line. Anyway, so it's running perfectly aligned on both ends. Yeah, see, now it's perfect. This and this side. Yank it out of the way. See, right now I'm in face mode, so I only can grab little faces at a time. Right click, hold UV shell mode, grab the shell instead. Press 6. I'm gonna press R now. Then I'm gonna shrink it smaller so it's proportionally correct. I'm not gonna stick it back onto it. I just wanna eyeball it for a bit, something like that. Yeah. Now we're just gonna chuck it on the side. Okay, good. Right click, hold edge mode. Okay, so that's that. Okay, then this and this. That's this. Edge mode, grab this and this edge. Right, so it's grabbing that and that. I don't want that, so I'm gonna right click. UV mode? Was it UV mode again? Right, so UV mode, it won't grab those on this side like how I did with the edge. Press 5, right, press 6.